In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use a set of feeler gauges to speed up calibration and setup time. So I'm just going to pretend that I want to cut a 3/8 tenon in this piece. So I'll mark that out as accurately as I can, and then intentionally cut this tenon a little wide, check that width with the calipers, and then adjust my carriage stops accordingly with the feeler gauges. So to lay this out for a 3/8 tenon, I'll take an adjustable square, and I'm going to just eyeball the approximate center of the stock, set the square to that. I'll mark it with the square on this side, flip the square over, mark it on this side. Then from there, I'll just eyeball and mark the center between those two lines. It'll be about right there. And then I'll come off of that center line 3/16 both directions. So I'll just lay that right on the 2-inch mark, and then come 3/16 this direction, 3/16 that direction. Now I'll set the square to those marks, and that'll create my layout lines to 3/8 tenon. Alright, so now I'll just get this clamped up on the jig and remove material in to where I'm almost touching the line. I'll go ahead and clamp the stock in. And remove material in on this face until I'm almost to the line. And a little bit of tear out here, but for this demo, I didn't give myself any score lines. All right, now I'll set a stock carriage here on the left of the jig, up tight to the jig. Now I can flip the stock and create the other cheek of the tenon. Now I pull the stock out and check that tenon width. Make sure my calipers are zeroed out, which they are. And 3/8 is 375 thou. So we'll see how much bigger than 375 we are. Okay, we are reading about 490 thou. So I'll just do some quick math and see how much to adjust that carriage stop with the feeler gauges. Okay, so 490 thou minus 375 thousandths equals 115 thousandths. So we need to take half of this off each side of the tenon. So 115 thou divided by 2 equals 57.5 thou. So I think I'll just look through the feeler gauges and see if I can find something that adds up to 57 and see how close that gets us. So looking through the feeler gauge set, we have a 32 and a 25 right here. So what I'll do is take those two, pinch those together, and offset that carriage stop by that much, and that should allow us to take 57 thou off either side of the tenon. So I'll move the carriage back over to where we're tight against our carriage stop again, right there. Now I'll loosen it, pinch those two feeler gauges together, press them here, and then press the stock carriage tight up against them. And while those are between the stock carriage and the jig, tighten the stock carriage back down. And that's pretty good right there. Now I'll move the jig over to that new point and remove that amount of material on either side of the tenon. Now we'll reclamp the stock and make those two passes and see what we come up with. All right, check this out. And we are pretty much spot on 3/8.